A lot of people believe that coincidences are just random events that happen by chance. However, there are some coincidences that are just too much of a coincidence, the kind that you can't help but wonder if it was fate or just luck. From a man who survived a plane crash only to find out the pilot was his look-alike to a woman who found her long-lost twin sister in a crowded city. These are 20 mind-blowing coincidences that will leave you speechless. So, get ready to be amazed. Number 20. Double Trouble. A British man named Harry Street accidentally crashed into a wall while riding his motorcycle. When he got up from the wreckage, he noticed that the motorcyclist who had crashed into him looked exactly like him. It turned out that the other rider was actually his identical twin brother, George, who had been missing since birth. They were separated at birth because their adoptive parents couldn't care for two babies, and fate brought them together in the most unexpected way possible. Number 19. The same name. Imagine walking into your first day of class and meeting someone with the same name as you. Well, that's exactly what happened to two students at Stanford University. Not only did they have the same name, but they also had the same birthday and were both majoring in the same subject. But that's not all. They discovered that they had even more similarities, like their favorite color, hobbies, and even their astrological sign. It was uncanny, but it just goes to show that there are so many coincidences in life that it's impossible not to be amazed. Number 18. The perfect match. In 2015, a couple from Australia decided to have their DNA tested to see how much they were related. What they discovered was that they were actually third cousins, something that happens when two siblings in your family tree have children with two siblings from another family tree. They were shocked, but also fascinated by the fact that they were so closely related and yet had no idea until they got their DNA tested. It just goes to show that you never know what you might find out about yourself and your family. Number 17. A matter of size. Two men named John Hanson and Gary Hanson met for the first time in high school. They quickly became friends and started hanging out together. But their friendship took a strange turn when they realized that they both had penises the exact same length. It might sound gross to some, but they were both curious and intrigued by this discovery. They started comparing body parts and realized that they also had the same shoe size, the same height, and even the same blood type. It was uncanny, but they used it to create a unique bond between them. Number 16. The same birthday. It's always exciting when you meet someone who shares the same birthday as you. It feels like you have an instant connection. But imagine meeting someone who not only has the same birthday as you, but also looks exactly like you. That's what happened to two women named Anna Hetche and Brittany Hetche. They were so shocked when they met and realized they were identical twins separated at birth. They had no idea that they had a twin sister until they were adults. Number 15. A case of mistaken identity. A man named David Fisher boarded a plane with his wife and two kids. When they arrived at their destination, he noticed a man who looked exactly like him waiting at the baggage claim. He thought it was just a coincidence until he saw that the man was also with his wife and two kids. It turned out that they were both part of a group tour and had just come from the same hotel. They exchanged numbers and stayed in touch, realizing that it was one of the most bizarre coincidences they had ever experienced. Number 14. The Identical Strangers. In 2010, a British talk show host named Steve Jones appeared on the popular program This Morning. During the show, he met a man named Daniel Jones, who was also a British talk show host. They were both divorced and had two children. They even had the same birthday. It was unbelievable. But the most shocking discovery was that they also had the same sperm donor, which meant that they were half-brothers. Number 13. A long-lost family member. A woman named Ruth met a man named Paul at a party. They started talking and soon realized that they had a lot in common. They both loved the same music, the same food, and even had the same sense of humor. But then they took things a step further and decided to get DNA tested. The results showed that they were actually second cousins. They were shocked, but also excited to have found a new member of their family. Number 12. The double-decker bus. A man named Alan Hill was taking a double-decker bus in London when he noticed a man on the top deck who looked exactly like him. He was shocked, but also amused by the situation. But then he realized that there was something even stranger going on. The man's wife on the lower deck also looked exactly like Alan's wife. They had no idea that they were being watched, but when they realized that there were two of them on the bus, they were stunned. It was one of those moments where you have to do a double take. Number 11. A shocking discovery. A man named Roger Hadfield was taking a walk in the park when he met a woman named Fiona. They started chatting and soon realized that they had a lot in common. They both loved hiking, camping, and had the same favorite color. But then they decided to take a DNA test just for fun, and the results revealed that they were actually half brother and sister. They had no idea that they had another parent who had kept this a secret from them. Number 10. The look-alikes. In 2015, a man named Ben McMahon was boarding a plane when he noticed a passenger who looked exactly like him. He was confused, but then he realized that it wasn't just a coincidence. The man's wife also looked exactly like his wife. They were shocked, but also excited to meet their doppelgangers. They took a picture together and posted it on social media, where it went viral. Number 9. A shared passion. A woman named Mary met a man named Joseph at a poetry reading. They bonded over their love of poetry and literature and started dating. But then they realized that they had something else in common. They had both written the same poem, but they had no idea that the other person had written it too. They decided to perform the poem together, and it became an instant hit. They toured the country performing their poetry and were considered one of the most exciting new talents. Number 8. The mysterious package. A woman named Sarah received a package in the mail that was addressed to her. She was confused because she didn't order anything. When she opened the package, she found a book that was addressed to her, but it was clearly old and had been sent from the future. The book was filled with predictions about her future, including the date of her death. She was skeptical, but then some of the predictions started coming true. She was terrified, but also intrigued. Number 7. The identical twins. In 2017, a set of identical twins named Lucy and Maria were reunited after being separated at birth. They had no idea that they had a twin sister until they were adults. When they met, they were shocked by how similar they were, not only in appearance but also in personality and interests. They had both married men named James and had children named Emma. It was like they had lived the same life. Number 6. The Vanishing Act. A man named Jack was on vacation with his family when he decided to go for a swim. He was having a great time when he suddenly vanished without a trace. His family searched for him, but they couldn't find him anywhere. They were worried that he had drowned, but then they noticed something strange. Jack had left behind his wallet, phone, and keys, but there was no sign of a struggle. Where could he have gone? Number 5. The Secret Admirer. A woman named Lisa started receiving anonymous letters from a secret admirer. The letters were romantic and poetic, but they also contained clues about her daily life, like what she was wearing and where she had been. She was flattered, but also scared. She tried to figure out who was sending the letters, but she couldn't think of anyone who knew so much about her. Then, one day, she received a letter telling her to meet her secret admirer at a certain place. She was nervous, but also curious. Number 4. The Psychic Prediction. A young girl named Sarah was playing with her friends when she suddenly stopped. She looked at her friends and said, "One of you will die in a car accident." They were shocked, but Sarah was adamant. She said that she had seen it in a vision. Her friends were skeptical, but then one of them, Maria, died in a car accident a few months later. The other friends were terrified, but Sarah was calm. She said that she had seen it coming and there was nothing they could do to change it. Number 3. The Dream Come True. A man named David had been working hard for years trying to achieve his dream. He had put everything on the line, but it seemed like it was never going to happen. He was exhausted and ready to give up when suddenly everything changed. His dream came true in the most unexpected way possible. He was shocked, but also grateful. He realized that sometimes dreams do come true and it's worth fighting for what you want. Number 2. The Supernatural Encounter. A woman named Helen was driving home late at night when she saw a hitchhiker by the side of the road. She stopped to pick her up, but she got a bad feeling and told the hitchhiker to get out of the car. As she drove away, she saw a police car and realized that the hitchhiker had been a ghost. She had just saved herself from a deadly car chase. Number 1. The Time Traveler. A man named John was looking through his family's old photo albums when he came across a picture that he didn't recognize. He looked at the date on the photo and realized that it was from the year 2045. He was confused, but then he saw a man in the photo who looked exactly like him. He realized that he might be a time traveler from the future and that this is the only explanation for the photo. Well, that's all for now. Do you believe in coincidences? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.